What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Server Error 405. Look, it's a podcast is here on the visual and on the audio. And ladies and gentlemen, when you're here on the visual, you get to see special treats, special attractions. I know the audio is not going to really get the full effect, and I'll try to give the best description possible. But for the people who are watching this, ladies and gentlemen, the man that is right there, do not speed because this man will catch you. Ladies and gentlemen, Sock Cop. What's good, Sock
Hey,
Cop?
what is going on there, Server Ever 405? It's good to talk to you, my friend. It's good to
Man,
talk to you. I'm happy to be here.
you know, I have known you for quite some time, and
hmm
you have taken so many people down because they go way too fast. That's your
Oh
whole
yeah.
thing. See, you're the kind of cop that I can't stand, and I'm gonna tell you
Oh
why.
really?
I
Oh no.
love driving. I love driving fast.
Oh, I don't like that. We're off to a bad start.
I
So
mean, I'm gonna
we're
be
off to a bad
honest with you.
start.
And here's my thing. Why do you hide? Why don't you just sit out there and just be on your little bike and just show yourself?
No, well, see, I do show myself. I don't hide. I don't put go in any hiding spots or anything like that. That's sort of the thing. I believe that we shouldn't be hiding because then you're trying to catch people. But if you are sitting out there in your car, then people are like, oh, that's a cop, and then I'll slow down, which that's the point, is to get people to slow down. I mean, I love writing tickets, don't get me wrong. I love
Right.
writing some tickets.
Yeah.
But
Well,
if if people just slow down, then that's good too. I'm accomplishing my goal. So I don't hide. I hang out. I'll be right there on the side of the road. I'll be poking out of the window and stuff like that, looking at and like eyeballing people as they drive by. You know what I mean? And then as soon as
right.
they see me, they're like, "Whoa, there's old sock. I better slow it down a little bit." And then they slow it down. I'm like, "All right, that's good. That's good."
So here's my thing, because I'm not a crazy lunatic driver, even though I like to drive
hmm
fast. But I drive
hmm
fast when it's a straightaway, no one's around me, and I do that. But I got
hmm
a ticket for going 60 in a 55, which I
hmm
think is upsetting. Is that something that you would pull me over if I'm doing 60 to 55?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, no, that's 5 miles an hour over the speed limit.
You
I
give
mean,
me a
that's just
ticket?
simple
You wouldn't
math.
even give me a warning?
No, there's no one. No, the warning is the sign. That's the warning right there. The warning is the sign. I don't need to give you a warning. You know what the speed limit. You know you're doing bad. If I warn you, that's two warnings. That's too many. No, 60 and a 55. That's too much. That's
I'm gonna
too
have
much.
to.
No,
I'm
you're
gonna
getting
hope
a
you.
ticket for that.
I'm just gonna have to hope you don't show up at court. That's my only saving grace. But I will say this: I am a very good driver, and I do
Oh,
respect
good.
your authority. And I think that what you're doing to take all these fast speedas off the street,
hmm
I think that's commendable. So, with that being
Oh, I
said,
appreciate that. hmm
you are a sock. You're not a human being, right?
This is true. Yeah, this is true. I've
So
been
how did
taught
you
that.
how did you get the job? Like, how did the police force hire you to be in the police force? You're a sock.
Well, luckily, there's all these like anti-discrimination laws and things like that, so they can't deny you a job just because you're a stock. It's sort of like, you can't discriminate just because somebody's like a Hindu. You can't,
Right.
you know what I mean? You can't not hire them and be like, oh, I don't want to hire no Hindu people. That's illegal. So whenever you go for a job, you'd be like, hey, I'm a sock. And then they're like, well, we're not going to hire you for a sock. And I'm like, well, I'm going to get my lawyer, and then we're going to see what happens after that. And then they go, whoa, whoa, okay, you got the job. You got the job. It's okay. It's fine.
Well,
So
what kind
yeah,
of
no, luckily I'm
experience?
protected.
What's your experience? I mean, you
Well,
just walked
you go
in and
through well, yeah, you go through the academy. There's training and stuff like that, and I went through the training thing. They got a system in place. It's very like it's almost like the military. You know what I mean? You got like different ranks and you got different little things you go through. So you go through sort of like a boot camp, and they kind of tell you, here's the things. But really, I was only paying attention to the speed part. So they were like, here's how you enter a house if we're doing a drug. And I was like, blah, I made like a C's and D's on that part. I didn't care about that. But the speeding, all A plus, all A plus. So that so my average was still higher than a lot of people. So it worked out. So I was
but
able to
here's
get the
but
job.
here's my issue though. Here's my issue.
Mhm,
How did you just become a sock that wanted to be a
mhm,
cop? Where did that? Because I know we're training. You had to have to train to do the job. But I'm saying before that
mhm.
part, you were just a little sock.
Oh
And
yeah, oh
what
yeah.
made you want to be a cop? Was there any other job choices before that? Like, where did you work before being a cop?
Well, the world is your oyster. You could do whatever you want to do. But luckily, I knew at a very early age. Whenever I was just a little baby booty, I was out playing in the yard, with a soccer ball. I was just having fun out there. I'm an only child. A lot of people think I have a twin,
You have
which is
legs?
hilarious. But I don't. No, I don't. No, I just hit it with the old weenus down there. I just
Oh, that's
hit the old
that's
soccer
right.
ball with the weenus
The family
and just
show.
knocked it around the yard.
Keep the
Yeah.
weenus.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, the
Right.
weenus is fine. That's just the you people call it the elbow, but I call it the weenus. That's just what it is. And so I was out there. I didn't have a whole lot of friends. I didn't have no brothers and sisters, so I just kicked the ball, out there in the yard to myself one day. And one day the ball goes out into the street, right? I say, well, that's okay. I'll just go over there and get the ball. And then Mama Sock starts screaming out the kitchen window. She says, Sock up! You better stay out of that street, Sock up. And I say, why, Mama Sock? Why? My ball's right there. I just want to go get my ball. What's the matter with that? And she said, because if you go in the street, speeders will run you over and smush your guts out. And I said, well, why would anybody want to smush my guts out, Mama Sock? And she said, because speeders are selfish people and they don't care about nobody but themselves. And then right at that moment, it's a good thing she stopped me because somebody was just hauling through the streets, ran over my soccer ball and
Oh,
popped it and ruined it. So if she wouldn't have stopped me, I would have been squished and my guts would have come out and it would have been a terrible thing. And it was from then on, I said, well, I got to do something about this. I can't have all these people out here just driving all willy nilly. Make it, there's other kids out there playing with their soccer balls and stuff like that. I got to save them,
yeah.
and
That's your
from that
origin
moment
story.
on, yeah,
That's
that's the origin story right there.
so it's like, Batman watched his parents die. You watched your soccer ball
Mhm.
die. And
Yeah,
now you're
yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly. And the soccer ball was wearing a pearl necklace at the time, and the pearls
oh,
went all over the place.
oh my
And it was
God.
like it was a dramatic scene and things like
Was it
that.
in
And
slow
the car,
motion?
it was in slow motion and went black and white for some reason, which I thought was strange. But
Oh,
that happens sometimes.
sure it wasn't like a
And the guy was
cataract.
never caught. No, no, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it was just, sometimes it does that. Sometimes the world just adds some special effects to make things, really, really bring the point home. You know what I mean?
So did you always have the mustache? Like, did it? I mean, at an early age, like how long did it take you to grow that mustache? I mean, that's a pretty good Fu Manchu thing you got going on.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, no, I get a lot of, compliments and stuff on the mustache. I would say it's probably my favorite feature of my entire being. And but I had at a very early age, it's very different, between like socks and humans and things like that. So at a very early age, this thing sprouted out,
Yeah,
and there's not really a whole lot I could do about it. So it's a good thing that people do like it because I have tried to shave it off. You know what I mean? Just trying out different looks. You get sick of looking one way. You want to try things out, and
right.
I shave it off. And I look in the mirror and I'm like, I don't know. Let's go see. And then I go, I walk outside and I'll find somebody and be like, hey, what do you think about me without a mustache? And they're like, what are you talking about? And I looked and the mustache grows back. It grows
So
back that fast.
so with since you get a lot of compliments, is there any love interest that you might have right now? Is there like a potential Mrs. Sock, or
Well,
maybe
it's a different, it sort of go. I tried being on the Tinders for a while. It's very tough for me to find the right lady. I was on the Tinders for a while, had a few Tinder dates.
right?
A bunch of them turned out to be speeders, that was a big red flag. So, I
Did they
kicked
just
them to
tell
the
you?
curb.
Did they tell you they were
Yeah.
speeders? You're sitting in the
Well, I
car.
asked. I
Yeah,
asked. That's one of the first things I asked. They'll say, hey, they'll swipe right or whatever, and we'll go get some coffee. And I'll say, hey, what kind of coffee you like? And they'll be like, oh, I like a caramel macchiato. And then I order them a caramel macchiato, and then I say, what's your name? And they say, my name is, Susan or whatever. And I say, well, Susan, do you like to drive the speed limit? And then, and then they'll say, some of them will go, yeah, I like driving the speed limit. I'm a very safe driver, and then we go from there, and then,
right.
there's plenty of other red flags, but a lot of them will be like, I like to drive real fast. And I go, well, this has been fun. Goodbye.
And that's
And
it.
then I leave. Yeah. I don't even pay the check or anything. I just get up and walk
Right.
out and I always make sure to get their address first. And then I just send them a ticket in the mail for turning themselves in.
That's actually pretty quick. That you hit your quota really fast, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, I'm told that there is a quota, but I get so high above the quota every month for I don't even know what it is. I don't even it may be 100, 300. I'm not sure, but I'm talking at least 4 digits
Do you,
tickets a month.
do you think when you're finding them on Tinder, maybe they swiped right too fast, and maybe that could kind of tip you off too, as them
Oh,
being
that could be,
sweet?
yeah. That would be a good feature for them to add to Tinder to let me know like how fast their finger actually went across the thing there.
Right.
Because then I would, I could see if that went too fast, I could save myself a bunch of time. That's a really good idea. I'm gonna call up Mr. Tinder and get
Is
into
that
it.
is
If
that
you don't
who
mind, I'm
runs
gonna
it,
write
Mr.
that.
Tinder? Is that his name, Mr.
Yeah,
Tinder?
Mr. Well, yeah, obviously. So okay, I'm gonna write that down. That's a good idea.
Yeah, write that one
Call
down.
Mr.
And for
Call
people who
Mr.
are
Tinder.
and for people who are listening, while Sock Cop is writing that down, Sock
Hmm.
Cop is you're naked, right? Because that's your skin is your sock. That's so you're a white man and you
Well,
have
yeah.
Fu Manchu mustache,
Hmm.
Total Cop chips, Eric Estrada glasses, cool
Oh yeah.
cop hat, very
Hmm.
professional, very serious. I rarely see him smile. I don't think you ever can you even smile?
I can't. It kind of hurts though. I have to use muscles that I don't. Let me see if I can do. I know
It's
the people that are listening won't be able to see it, but
they
just
don't
imagine.
they got to watch. It makes them want to watch it and see. He's
Let me
attempting
see.
to
Let me
smile.
try and do it.
He's trying to. That's a good smile. It's a pretty
That's about as
wide.
good as I could do.
Yeah,
That's
it's
about
kind
as
of
good as I could do.
you kind of look like Snoopy a little bit when Snoopy gets happy over whatever he gets happy over. I don't know, Woodstock,
Yeah. No, that's
flying
true.
away. I don't know.
Yeah, I get
So
that a lot. So that's one reason that I don't do it a whole lot because people are like, "Is that Snoopy over there?" And then they're not scared of me
yeah,
getting them a ticket because who's scared of Snoopy?
nobody, especially the Red Baron.
Nobody.
He's not afraid of him at all.
Oh, not a bit. No, his Sopwith Camel. You don't bother the Red Baron a bit.
Right. So when you clean yourself, because I'm fascinated because I've never met a sock that talks. So I'm very
Hmm.
curious. Do you like when you clean yourself? Do you just throw yourself in the washer, or do you rub yourself with fabric softener? Like how does the whole thing? How does it work? I don't want to get too
Well,
personal for you, but
oh
how?
yeah, no, no, no. I'm not gonna talk about, like giblets or anything, but if
Right.
I sometimes if I'm feeling froggy, sometimes I'll hop in the old washing machine and go for a
Okay.
spin, it's sort of like a little Disneyland ride, which is a good time. Sometimes I'll just hop in the shower though. I do love a good shower and put the radio on and sing some REO Speedwagon or something like that and get
Like
all
it.
lathered up and do the things. But
Yeah.
most of the time is actually spent on the mustache because it grows naturally pretty good, but I have to use a bunch of oils and creams and things like that to keeping it looking tip top. Because if I don't, sometimes it gets a little bit bushy,
Right.
makes it hard to see, and I start chewing on it and things like that. So that's really where most of the time goes is in mustache management.
Yeah, because I could tell it is kind of getting towards your mouth a little bit. And,
Hmm.
me, I have a beard. So it's like it's trimmed down, but I used to have a really big beard before and it gets near my mouth. So it drives me crazy to have to trim it. So I feel you there. Has anyone tried to like sponsor you? I know you're a cop, but you're also a little celebrity too. You're verified on the Twitters, like you like
Oh
to
yeah,
call
yeah,
it.
yeah.
And, a
Um,
little bit of fame. So have you got any sponsors for like mustache, creams, ointments, whatever?
You know what? That's an opportunity that none of these mustache any Gillette or anything like that. They would be very smart to jump on that. They have not responded to any of my calls for it. So I have not been sponsored by any sort of any sort of mustache company or anything. But I did because I did Periscope for a while, which Periscope is a live streaming app that is about to die. They're about to get rid of it.
Yes.
But it's the one that's owned by Twitter, and that's where I started doing the things and got a little bit of a internet notoriety and things like that. And
Yeah. Yeah.
I had a sponsor, and he was actually a car dealership in Oshawa, Ontario, Canada, contacted me out of the blue and said we would like to sponsor you. And it was Mills Motors out in Oshawa, Ontario, Canada. They haven't sponsored me in a long time, so I probably shouldn't even mention his name because I'm not getting
Right.
paid for it anymore. But
Because
for a
you should
while,
be.
I was sponsored by a car dealership in Canada, which was a lot of fun. That was fantastic. I love doing that. That was good.
And
But yeah, if
outside of,
Gillette or anybody listens, give me a call.
yeah, I mean, outside of them giving you financial compensation, the sponsorship, did they give you any like did they send you some car keys since they're in Canada? They're not gonna send you a car, but did they send you
Yeah, they
anything
couldn't
like a
send the car.
sticker or t-shirts?
No, they said they sent some keys, and they were like, "Hey, this is to a real fancy Mercedes. Just take our word for it." And I was like, "Hey, can I come up there and try to think?" And they were like, maybe tomorrow."
Yeah.
No, they didn't. No, it was just I would do the things for them. I made a commercial for them, like a little PSA about the not speeding in your new car that you got from Mills Motors and stuff like that. So we had a good time with it. It was fun.
Do you remember some of the PSA, or was it? That was you just did it.
Although I want to say, yeah, that was pretty much it. I
Oh,
think I popped in. It was like, "Hey, I'm Sock Cop." It's on the YouTubes if you want to find it.
oh,
If you
I'm
type in
definitely
Sock
gonna
Cop
find it.
and Mills Motors is the name of the place. You could probably, I'm sure they have it up there, unless they got embarrassed by the whole thing and then deleted it, which I would not blame them for that either.
Well, I mean, a car dealership in Canada sponsored by a sock cop. I mean, that's
Hmm.
nothing wrong with that. What's unusual about
It
that? I
makes
mean,
sense.
if somebody can get Meredith Baxter Birdie to sponsor like a Rite Aid, they can most definitely get a sock cop to sponsor a car dealership in Canada. There's nothing wrong with
Oh
that.
yeah, yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. I only had one other sponsor that I can remember, and it's have you ever heard of Shalene Johnson?
Oh no, not at all. Never heard of that.
No,
It sounds
not
like
at
you're
all.
making it
No.
up. Is that a real
It
name?
does sound like it sounds like a made up name, but it's not. No, she's like a fitness lady. She does like the fitness type of things, not like Zumba. I don't know what it is. I don't really know what a racket is, to be honest with you. But she does.
You
She's a good
sure?
looking lady. She's a good looking lady, and she does like the fitness thing. She's like, "Come on, everybody, let's do some sit ups. So one, then to two, and that kind of stuff." And she was super nice, and she helped me out for a little while there, and that was good. That was a bad investment on her part,
Right.
but it was real good for me, sock cop. So I
How
had a
much
good
how
time with
much
that.
uh how much weight did you lose? Did you lose some weight during all that or
I lost a little bit, I mean, I don't weigh a whole lot to begin with, so I mean,
right?
you're talking about ounces here and not pounds, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's
Well, you
it's
look
not a whole
thin. You
lot
look
to lose.
great. You look like you're in the
Oh,
best
thank
shape of your life, honestly. I mean, I've seen you
you.
and you were, you had a little bit, you had a couple extra ounces on you, so you
I
look
did,
really
yeah.
fit. Look good.
I appreciate that. Yeah, no, I cut down. I was a big fan of the Dr. Peppers. I would drink Dr. Peppers all the time. And then I noticed myself, the fibers were stretching a little thin down there. You know what I'm saying? It was sort of like get a little bit of a little extra, more to love, like they used to say on the MySpace. I was getting more to love. And so I cut those down and started slimming back up again. So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Thank you for saying that.
I like how you mentioned MySpace just so subtly, so subtle. Um, who do you still have a MySpace right now?
No, I don't have one now. I tried to make one like not too long ago and it wouldn't let me. I don't know what the deal was. I had one many, many moons ago back when the people that had a MySpace had one
Who
and
would
uh
you
and it was
if
a good time.
if MySpace? Well, there's MySpace is still around. I think it's for like musicians and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's
But
like a music thing now.
yeah, pretty much. But if it was the same today as it was back in the day, who
Hmm.
would be your top three friends? Not just personal friends, but just top three. Who would be in your top three in your MySpace right now? It could be anybody
Oh,
except for people personally, because that's not as funny.
yeah, no, that's not as funny. Let's see. In the top three, that's pretty good. I would like I haven't thought about that in a long time. I'm a really big fan of Dave Grohl. So I would
Okay,
try to be his friend on
that's a good
MySpace.
one.
I like that guy. He plays the drums and things like that.
He likes to chew
Larry
gum.
Storr. Yeah, he does like to chew gum. I do like that. I like watching interviews with him, and he's all like, "I like to play the drums." And I'm like, "You go, Dave Grohl. You the man. You the man to do it."
I was in
I
Nirvana.
like. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he'll throw that in there every once. So, hey, did you know that I was? Hey, you ever heard that song? "Smells Like Teen Spirit." You know that song? You like that song?
Right.
I did the drumming on that song. You know? Hey, how about that? Isn't that neat? And it's like, yeah, okay, we get. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Dave. Just pick up your guitar and let's do the things
Right.
and stuff like that. Let's see. I don't know if Colonel Sanders counts, but I think Colonel Sanders would be up there. I like him a lot. I like
Now, are you
his
talking about the
chicken.
original, or are you talking about like the different variations we're seeing right now in the
I
commercial?
do like how he's able to metamorphosize. I think my favorite one was Norm Macdonald. I think he was the perfect colonel.
That was a
I
good
like
one.
Norm Macdonald.
You'd be a good
And
Colonel Sanders. You'd be a good one. You should go for that.
oh Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I'll write Mr. I'll write Mr. Kentucky Fried Chicken and see if they're still doing that thing because it seems like they found the guy and they're kind of sticking with him. For a while there, it was like there was a new colonel every day.
Yeah, it
There was
really
like more
was.
turnover at that job than there was at the dadgum gas station. All the time you walk in there, there's somebody new.
Right. So who would be the third one? Who's the third one? We got Dave Grohl, Colonel Sanders, and who'd be the third one on your
Dave
MySpace?
Grohl and Colonel Sanders. You know, I would say I would have said Hank Aaron because I like Hank Aaron a lot. Unfortunately, he passed away, so I can't say Hank Aaron no more. So let me see who would I have in there? Oh, you know who else I would have? Jamila Jamil. That's who I'd have. You know Jamila Jamil. She does
ESPN?
no, she does. She hosts. She's like a comedian now. She hosts a show on TBS called The Misery Index,
Ah, I
and
know. Yeah, I've seen her. I
yeah,
like
yeah,
her.
yeah.
Yeah, she's cute.
Yeah, she's done a bunch of comedy things. Yeah, no, she's great. Unfortunately, I don't think she's interested in men at all, much less socks with very manly mustaches. So it would be a futile gesture. But it hopefully I would get to have like a cup of tea with her or something like that one of those days. If I'm like, hey, you're in my top three, she'd be like, oh, that's fantastic. Let's go have a cuppa or something. You know what I mean? I'm just hoping that would be my end for because
I didn't
I
know
think
she had
she's
an
gorgeous.
accent. She has an English accent.
Yeah. She's from like England or somewhere like that. I'm not sure. So it ain't she ain't from Florida. I know that. I don't know where she's from, but
Just
it ain't from here.
Floridian with an English accent. It wouldn't
That
surprise
would
me. I'm
be
sure
fun.
there's people out there like that in Florida.
Oh no, that's true. You hear enough stories about Florida man that if
Right.
it's a Florida man born with English accent, you'd be like, well, okay, yeah, all right.
Makes sense.
That's not the most surprising Florida story I've heard today. So yeah, that's cool.
So speaking of Florida,
Uh-huh.
WrestleMania is coming up this year, and they're actually
Oh
going
my
to
God.
be in Florida, and they're going to
Hmm.
have about 15, 20,000 people, they're saying, there. So there's going to be some fans there. So
Hmm.
I know that you are a big wrestling fan.
I
What are
am,
you,
yeah.
and not just WWE, you like wrestling, you watch AEW and all the other stuff, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Any kind of wrestling I can get my hands on. These days, you almost have to like ration it out. You have to like pick a few to watch because they keep coming out with that. Like on the Indies, they got all these things, and then on AEW, you got this thing, and then NXT and W. It's like, oh, wait, I just got to pick a few and
Yeah.
check these out
It,
and
they
follow
really
those.
they
So
really
much.
just decide to make wrestling like a binge watching thing now. Like you don't
Yeah,
have to watch it all. You could watch it either as they come on, or you can just
mm,
watch them on one day yourself and watch them all at once, like everything.
yeah,
So
yeah.
what are you actually enjoying about wrestling right now? Like what is your favorite company or favorite storylines, or what are you really enjoying in wrestling right
I'm excited. I haven't caught up with AEW as much the past few weeks, but I did watch whenever Sting came out.
now?
It was doing his whole thing. That got me excited. That I don't know what it was. I don't know if it's just like a nostalgia thing because I just love Sting and love that old stuff. But that got me more excited about wrestling than I've been in a while. And I don't even know what he's going to do. I don't know what he said he's going to do. He just sort of came out for a couple of weeks. But every time he's on the TV, I'm just like, look at Sting. Ah, I love that guy. Look at him go. Look at him go. And he's like 1,000 years old. So I don't even know if he's going to wrestle or what his deal is.
Well,
But
he's booked for a street fight.
oh,
In a
really?
match. Yeah, they announced it. I think like a week ago.
Oh,
It's going to be Sting and Darby Allin teaming up
hmm.
versus Team Taz's guys. I believe Brian Cage and I don't know somebody else. I can't remember who it was. Ricky
Yeah.
Starks, I think it might be Ricky Starks. I don't know, but it's a street fight, which would probably be like a cinematic deal like they did in WWE.
Oh.
So
Yeah. I like those things. I like the one
yeah,
they
well,
did
yeah, oh,
with the Undertaker and AJ Styles. Oh my goodness gracious,
that was
that
that
was
was pretty good.
wonderful. I love that. I love
Now
that thing. It was so ridiculous and so awesome at the same time. I'm like, how did they do these things at the same? I'm laughing and I'm like almost crying because it's so awesome at the same time. I don't know how they did it. It was awesome.
Now, what were you ever concerned watching that Undertaker AJ Styles match and seeing Undertaker, driving or riding his motorcycle fast? Did that concern you at all watching that?
Well, luckily, they didn't show him for very long. He just sort of he pulled up, you got to see that, and then he did his whole like fist in the air thing and then left. And I was like, I can't really tell how fast he's going there. I think he's going a reasonable speed. He's an old man at this point. I mean,
Yeah,
he can't be going. faster than his age. You know what I'm saying? Like he can't be going that fast. If if he's like 65, he ain't going that fast because he
Right.
knows he ain't
Yeah.
20 years old no more. He's going at a reasonable speed on that motorcycle. I trust him to do that. So,
Now,
but no, that is,
if he was going past you pretty quick, would you still give the Undertaker a ticket? You wouldn't give him a
oh,
pass?
100%. Oh yeah. No, I wouldn't think twice about it. No, I'd be like, oh, the Undertaker. No, I'd probably get him 2 tickets, right? And the first one, I would just be like, here, sign this, sir. And then I would just put that one in my pocket. And I'd be like, oh, I got his autograph. Got his autograph. And then the second one would be,
Right.
would be the real that I would turn in to the
Oh,
whole thing. But yeah, no, it doesn't matter. No, it could be, my own mother. Doesn't matter. If I see her speeding,
Mama
getting a
sock?
ticket. Oh yeah, Mama Sock would get a ticket. I mean, that's the law. It applies to everybody. Nobody's above the law.
Wow.
Who these people think they are? They can just go out and speed. Imagine being such a narcissist. You look at the speed limit sign and be like, "Oh, that applies to everyone but me because I'm special." You know what I mean? Like that's ridiculous. Get out of here with that.
Wow, you're pretty tough, sock cop. I didn't know you were this tough. I thought maybe sometimes you might give a guy a break, but man, you really put it out there, man.
Oh yeah, no, it's a strict zero tolerance policy. You know what I mean? You start getting too lenient and things like that, and then that's where it starts crumbling down. You know what I mean? You got to put it down because speeding. Here's the thing: speeding is a gateway crime, right? So let's say if you are going like you went, you're going 60 and a 55, right? Let's say you're going 60 miles an hour and a 55, and you pass a cop, and he doesn't stop you. He doesn't give you a ticket. You say, "Hey, look at that! I just got away with a crime. I was over the speed limit, went right by a cop. He didn't do nothing about it. I wonder what would happen if I robbed this gas station. I could probably get away with that. I got away with one thing. I'll get into, you know what I mean? That's how it starts. It's a gateway crime.
What if, okay, so I'm gonna give you a scenario. Okay.
Okay.
You got two cars
Mhm.
equally going about 65 and a 55. Both of them
Mhm.
quick, they're moving. You got your
Right.
lights on. How do you get them both? Because you can't get them both. Can you?
Oh no, I can. Yeah, no,
How?
I can. I've got my siren. I've been working on my siren for so long. It actually emits these certain frequencies that
Hmm,
just it sends fear into the heart of the speeder.
really?
So if you are speeding and you hear the siren, you just you slow down and you stop
Yeah.
and you pull over. So if there's 2, 3 at a time, it doesn't matter. I just hit them with the I just see them speeding and I go, "Woo! And then they stop. And then they stop. So I've never been involved in any sort of like chase or anything like that. As soon as I hit them with that siren, wham up. Oh my goodness gracious, people straighten up. You know how it is like if you're at your job, you know what I mean? And then
Right.
like the big head honcho comes in, and they're like, all right, everybody, the head honcho's coming in. Everybody like sits up a little straighter and pretend like you're working and stuff like they're typing on your computers or whatever. You know what I mean? It's sort of
Right.
like that. It emits that same kind of
What was that sound? What was that sound again?
oh, you want to hear the siren again?
Yeah, just
Woos, woos, woos. And then sometimes you go whoop, 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 whoop. So, sometimes I can mix it up.
that would terrify me. To be
That's
honest,
what I'm saying.
I'd probably stop. I'm
No,
not gonna lie.
if you were traveling over the speed limit at the time, you're sitting down right now, so
Yeah,
you're fine. But
right.
if you were traveling over the posted speed limit, you would feel like a visceral feeling throughout your body, and you would be compelled to safely pull over. And that's
I,
you know what I mean. I can't explain it.
I feel that way now, and I'm not even driving. I'm not even doing
See,
anything. I feel like I need to pull over.
that's how powerful it is. Yeah, you feel like even though you're sitting down and being still, you feel like I need to slow down,
I should.
and I'm not even moving.
Look, you've been a cop for how long?
Well, I'm actually like 136 years old. There's time travel involved. There's a whole other thing
Wow.
to it. So it's been a long time. I
So
was
you
since old time. I pulled over Model Ts. I tell you that.
right. So are you ever wanting to get like promoted and be like a sergeant sock cop or just take an office job and deal with the train other guys to get speeders and I mean is you just want to catch speeders
Yeah, just
this
catch a
whole
speeder. Yeah,
time?
no,
Your
yeah, that's all I want. That's the thing. They keep wanting to promote me just because I've been there for so long, and they're sick of hearing like getting of all the complaint calls and stuff like that about he gave me I was only going 56 and a 55 and he gave me a ticket and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So they're sick of hearing those calls. So they're like, hey, sock cop, wouldn't you like to be, a chief? You could
Right.
have you a nice office job and stuff like that. And I say, would I still get to catch speeders? And they say, well, no, you'd have these other. Nope, no, thank you. Don't want to do it.
Shut
I
them
want to
down.
catch the speeders. And I
So what?
try to train the other ones. I try to teach, the younger generation about the joy that you can get from catching speeders and keeping the streets safe. But they're all like, oh no, I want to, take down drug dealers and I want to bust down doors and blah blah blah. And I'm like, get out of here with that garbage. That ain't doing nobody no good. You know what I mean? That ain't
So
doing nobody good.
my biggest question, just by talking to you for in this time frame, is that every time you mention someone else in the story, their voice has a high pitch. Is there anyone you know that doesn't talk like this? Like, is everybody high pitched? Like you surround yourself with people who have high pitched voices?
Well, that's just what people sound like to me. You know what I mean? I don't have any visible ears that you could hear. So the way that my like auditory system works is baffling to even the most advanced scientists in the world. Nobody knows how it works. So that's
Okay.
just what people sound like to me. That's what
Okay.
everything. I mean, even you, even that. I mean, that's what I'm hearing
How do
right
I
now.
sound
Whenever
like
you
to you? What do
ask
I
those
sound
questions,
like?
you said, "Oh, you sound like that." You're like, "Hey, Sock, welcome to It's a Podcast. It's me, Server Area 405." That's just what it sounds. I mean, you know what I mean? I ain't trying to make fun of you. That's just what I hear in my brain, which I'm not even sure is located under the hat. The brain may be down here in the wings. I have no idea. Nobody can tell me the anatomy of a sock hop. Nobody knows.
It sounds like you're actually from like Chicago.
Yeah, yeah, I get a lot of that. I was actually born initially on the north part of the map. You know what I mean? Like if you look at a map, and then there's like the north part and the south part. I was born in the north part, and then somehow or another through the time travel, I ended up in the south part. And I just don't feel like going up there, so
So near
I just
like
stay here.
Santa? Like, I mean, were you born like near the North Pole? Like, I mean, going to the
No,
north,
not that far north. Not that
not
far.
that
You look at a map and it's like you got the ocean is green. I mean, wait, the ocean is blue, and
depends on
then
what
the
kind of
land
map and
is
where you got
green. Yeah, this is true. They had different ones. The ones with the sea monsters and stuff like that, those are different. Those are all brown, like all over the place.
it.
But
Right.
the ones
Like the
with
water
the
in
ocean is
Mobile.
yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. The water the water's blue and the land is green, but then like the really cold land is white. They color it white like snow, right? Well, it's,
Right.
it's below it's below the white part, right where the green and the white starts getting into. It's below Canada. I wish I was Canadian. That would be really cool because then I could be a Mountie. I've always wanted to be a Mountie, but they won't let me because I'm not Canadian. But
And
so it's not that far north.
well, right now you're frozen, so it's almost like you're in Canada because it's so cold.
Oh my goodness
Frozen.
gracious, that's no. I'm sorry about that.
So, no, that's okay. Anytime people talk about Canada and how cold it is, they automatically freeze on cam. So
that's,
that's
that's
just a
another one of those
normal.
phenomenons.
It really is. You can't really explain it. So right now it's like you're frozen in time, and you are a time traveler. So it's like
Right.
maybe you could be going through a situation where your camera is frozen because maybe you're going to a different era, maybe, or is this something that normally happens to you? Because well, hold on a second. There you go. You're back.
Well,
Did
did I
you
come
did you
back?
just yeah, did you just leave to a different
Yeah.
dimension?
All of a sudden I was like, what are all these Vikings doing here? Why
Wow.
am I on this boat? What is happening? No, there's some sort of weird glitch in the Matrix. I was like, I went back to old Viking times, and these guys were trying to make me row a boat, and I was like, no, I ain't rowing no boat. I don't even
Wow.
have my boating license. I can't do
Does that
that.
happen? Does that happen a lot where you just freeze and then you just time travel somewhere and then come back?
It happens sometimes. Does that not happen to you? Is that not a normal thing?
No, I'm not
Should
a
I get a
time
doctor
traveler.
to check that out?
I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
if it happens, I don't know. I mean, there's sometimes if I have too much alcohol, I'll pass out and not remember. And people will tell me,
Mhm.
"Hey, why did you rob an Applebee's?" I'm like, I don't know. I don't remember. Did I? So
Oh, the goodness gracious. Oh, I was wondering why I had so many cheese fries in my pocket.
is that considered time travel if you have too much to drink?
I think so. Yeah, I think time is a relative thing. I remember hearing I don't get too philosophical with things, but I remember hearing a thing about string theory, and I don't remember the details, but I think they're saying that time is like a string, and you can cut it and stuff like that, or something. I'm not real sure what
I
it
think
is.
that's
So I
editing.
think
I think that's editing.
oh, okay, yeah, yeah. It's like editing. Life is like editing a video. Sometimes you have to do cutaways, like on
Right.
Family Guy, something like that, and you just go to something else and do that for a while, and then you come back.
Do you
But I
watch
mean, I'm
a
not a doctor. What do I know?
Do you watch a lot of TV in your spare time? Like, what does Sock Cop do in his spare time? Like, What is something
I
that
do watch a lot of TV.
what do you like
I
to
do
watch?
enjoy
What
television.
entertains you?
Well, I usually watch the same shows over and over again. I like the Golden Girls. That's my favorite show. I love the
That's a
Golden
good one.
Girls. I
That's
watch
a
that
good
one
one.
all the time. I think Futurama is probably the best cartoon
That's a good one.
that has ever been made. I love Futurama a lot. And but here lately, I've been watching that Naked and Afraid show. You ever see that one?
Oh, I like that one.
I
That one's
love that show.
hilarious.
I
I
cannot get enough of that show.
you'd be perfect for it because you're already naked, so that part's not going to
Yeah,
bother you. And are you really good with like survival? Could you survive like these guys can if they give you I don't
Hmm.
know, what do they give them, like a knife and some rope?
Yeah,
So
usually they give them like a knife and then maybe like a fire starter or some type,
right, yeah,
or a pot to boil water in because they got to drink from some like nasty pond that frogs do horrible things in.
yeah,
So they usually have that. I think I could. I'm not sure. I think if I did go, because they have to go 21 days. So I
yes.
think probably what I would do is I would just say, "Well, here we are in the jungle. I'll see you in 21 days," and then just go to sleep. And
Just
then just
sleep
that
all
would
the
be it.
day.
Like my partner that they sent me with, they would just have to fend for themselves. I would just take me a 21-day nap, like Rip Van Winkle's, and then be like, "Oh, that was relaxing. I'm hungry." And then I get on the helicopter and go get me a cheeseburger.
Right. And you already are a sock, so you can't smell that bad
Mhm.
because it's not like you have a foot or anything,
Yeah, no,
inside
no,
of
there's no foot
your
inside me or anything.
yeah.
It's
I
just
mean,
normal guts and things like that. So
yeah, like
I don't even have sweat glands, so I won't sweat or anything. I'll be fine.
yeah. I think you should apply. I think you really
I
should.
should. That would be good, especially if they do like a video submission. Then
Have you
that would
ever
be fun. 'Cause
have you ever received any offers to be on like any shows like Sesame Street or anything like that to tell the kids not to speed?
oh, Oh, that would be my dream. That would be my dream. Oh, another thing, you were talking about sponsorships. They didn't like sponsor me, but I did do a PSA with the Maryland Department of Highway Safety.
Oh
I
wow.
did a little show with them. They have their own mascot named Bernie, and he's one of those things. You see him on the road. It's like those big orange barrels that they
Yeah.
put when they're
Yeah,
doing
yeah, yeah.
construction and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So his whole thing is he don't want people to be speeding through construction zones because you could run over the construction workers and stuff like that.
Ah,
So I was like,
that's his
"Hey,"
gimmick.
and yeah, that's his gimmick. So we worked together one time and did a thing. He wrote me a nice letter and stuff like that. So that was cool. But I've never even been to Maryland, so I'm not sure how good
So
how much it
he
worked. I
so
did
he
that.
essentially was like the Donkey Kong of Maryland with the barrels.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. Yeah, sort of like yeah, it's like a barrel guy and he's like, "Hey, slow it down" and stuff, which Donkey Kong would throw the barrels. I don't know if anybody was throwing poor old Bernie down the road or anything, but
They
I think he
should. I
just
mean,
sort of
what's in
sits
those
there.
barrels? What's in the barrels? Like water? What is in there?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's in those things. I didn't, I mean, it was sort of a quick working relationship. I didn't get to know him long enough to say, it's usually like after you hang out with somebody 4 or 5 times, you can say, "Hey, what's inside of you?" You know what I mean? That's usually a later
Right.
thing.
That sounds like one of the Tinder dates right there.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, that's
Right.
another thing. That's another a girl will be like, "Hey, what kind of stuff are you? What are you made of? What's under that side?" I'm like, "Girl, this is the first date. You're moving too fast. That's
That's
speeding.
a
Get out of here.
speeder. Yep, there you go. Just speed.
That's speeding. If
That's
you're going
speed.
this fast on a date, I don't want to see you behind the car. So we're gonna nip this in the bud, like Bonnie Fife would say.
So let me ask you this because we're gonna take this to another level now because you
Hmm.
have a Twitch channel because Periscope obviously is going night night, which is
Right.
thank you Periscope because Periscope was something that I used to use and it was very fun and I loved it. I love watching your show on Periscope, which was hilarious.
Oh, thank
But
thank you, thank
now you're taking it to another level and going to Twitch. And I
you.
do a
Hmm.
little stuff on Twitch. I'm just testing stuff out on Twitch. But what kind of content can we expect from you on Twitch when Sock Cop officially just gets out there and takes over Twitch? What can we expect?
Well, I'm just dipping the old toes in the water, so to speak. Just trying it out and things because it used to be all video games for the longest time. So I
Yes.
tried getting on there and playing some video games for a while, and nobody cared about that. But now that it's opened up, where if you're a pretty girl, you can just sit there and talk or whatever and do it. So I'm like, hey, let me try that. But I got a little set that I got set up, and I got like a desk at there. It's sort of like it's like a talk show, like a late night talk show. I've always wanted to be like a David Letterman or a Conan O'Brien type character. So I do that, and sometimes people, I got a phone number, people can call in, over Skype line. People can call in and do the things, and we have an animal of the day. I decide what animal is going to be animal of the day, and we learn a little bit about that animal and have fun with that, and just generally have a good time. It's fun. There's actually a decent little community that I built from Periscope. You were a part of that,
Yeah.
and people that I've met, and hung out with through that. And so, everybody just hangs out and has a good time, and it's a lot of fun. Like I said, I'm just getting started with the whole Twitch thing. It still frightens me. I'm still scared
Yeah.
because
It's
it's scary.
definitely something new to me too, because I just started learning how to even just broadcast live, like OBS
Yeah,
and
it's
all that other
complicated.
stuff. And it
Yeah,
is a little complicated. Zoom isn't much, just click and, good. So,
right.
you're putting a whole production together and you have a lot of great ideas. Where can people find you on Twitch? Is it Twitch? Just search Sock Cop, or how would they, is there like a link for the show? What we got? How can
Yeah,
they?
it's just Sock Cop. I think if you go to Twitch, .tv/Sock Cop, I think that'll take you right there, and I'll
When's
do
your
the thing.
next
So
live broadcast?
I don't know. I may actually do one here once we get through. I may get a
Oh,
try because I want to try and do a. I've been watching all these videos, right? And they're like, "Here's how to be successful on Twitch," and they say you got to have a schedule. And I'm like, man, I hate schedules.
yeah.
I like just popping on whenever I want to. But I'm like, okay, maybe I'm thinking about doing a schedule. So I'm thinking about making Tuesdays and Thursdays my thing. I
Those are
think
good
I, I
days.
think I can accomplish that.
Not really a
Tuesdays and
lot of
Thursday nights.
not really a lot of competition, really, like, for people wanting to watch shows on television, like wrestling, for example. There's not really a lot
Let's
of
see
stuff
that. Yeah,
on
exactly.
Thursday
Yeah,
and
you
Tuesday.
got Raw on Monday, and you got AEW NXT on Wednesdays, and you got SmackDown on Fridays. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, those will be my days. And
And
Friends don't come on no more, so Thursdays are clear.
unless you're trying to get those Impact fans, they watch Impact on Tuesday. So, you might miss out
Oh, is
on
that on?
them.
Oh my goodness
It's on
gracious! I
Tuesday.
see Impact all the time on the. They do the Twitch. They got a Twitch channel going on.
That's
I
how you
haven't
can
watched
watch.
it a whole
Yeah.
lot.
You can watch it on
Yeah,
there.
so
See,
I.
it's the new wave. It's the new thing. So, 2 years from now, there'll be something else. We'll be like, oh, Twitch, I remember you. And now there's this new thing, So
Yeah,
I'm gonna
ready to
definitely
go.
watch. I'm gonna definitely watch your show. If it's on tonight, I'll more than likely jump on there, unless I hit another Applebee's and have way too much to drink again in time travel. But
That happens. Yeah.
you know, one final question for you, and
Okay.
you're out there in Alabama,
Hmm.
which I love Alabama. I lived out there for a few years, as you know. What
Oh
are
yes, great.
what are some things from being in Alabama in your time travels? What are some things in Alabama that you could recommend? Because everyone always thinks Alabama is, a bunch of hicks and
Mhm.
that type of deal going on.
That's
You know,
that's pretty good. Yeah.
what could you what could you recommend for people who, let's just say you work for the tourism in Alabama
Right.
and you're a great
Mhm.
spokesperson and you work with a barrel. So I mean you could work with anyone. What
Oh
would you
yeah.
recommend in Alabama?
Well, I would say the biggest thing, of course, this year it's different, but the biggest thing in Mobile is Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras is a fantastic thing, full of rich traditions and all sorts of fun to be had around this time of year. We're missing the Mardi Gras, because of this whole pandemic gimmick and whatnot. And I actually went and visited the Mardi Gras Museum today, and
Oh,
it's fantastic. They have a bunch of cool stuff in there. Everybody goes bananas for the Mardi Gras, so that's always fun. But we're right by the sea. Well, not the sea, but the bay,
hey, yeah,
and
the
there's
vet.
crabs in there. Yeah, you can go just pick up some crabs if you want to. That's not a problem. Hey, you want some crabs?
That sounds
Go
like you could
grab
get
you
that
a
on
thing and go get them.
that sounds like you get that on Tinder though.
Well, well, that's a different kind of crab. Yeah, you don't
Oh,
want that kind of crab. That
yeah,
crab.
because
This one's not as contagious. This one's much tastier
yeah,
than the
because
tender crab.
I don't think that would be the I don't think that would be a good tagline. Come to Alabama and get some crabs.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Maybe I shouldn't have led with that. But
Right.
we do have a lot of different things. There's beaches. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not a big fan of the beach. I don't like the beach. I think there's too much sand and too much water. I'm not a big fan
Okay.
of the beach, and that's pretty much all there is. Every
Right.
every once in a while, I mean, you could check out some ladies in some bikinis, which is fine. But it's like,
That's always good.
okay, you see a lady in a bikini, it's like, hey, that's nice to look at. Okay, now what? You know what I mean? It's like, what are you
Right.
gonna, she's not gonna date me. She's obviously too good looking to go out with a sock cop. So if I
Uh
go and hit on her,
don't be
she's gonna
so
be
hard
like,
on
get out of
yourself.
Well, I try, but I don't like rejection. 405. I don't like rejection very much, so I try to keep to myself. But Mobile, it's a place. I would say if I had to sum it up, I would say Mobile. It's a place on planet Earth. Why not be here? That would if I was in charge of tourism for the city, that's what they'd be like. Mobile, why not? Why
I
not?
like it.
Just you know what I mean?
That's a new
We got
T-shirt right
three.
there.
Why not? Stop
Yeah,
by. Hey, I mean, what are you gonna go to Branson, Missouri? Like that, just come here.
and you go
It's
to
fine.
Maryland.
It's cool. Yeah. What are we gonna do? I mean, we got Waffle Houses. We got Waffle Houses you can eat at.
Yeah. You know I
And
love a good
we
Waffle House.
oh yeah, I love it. Oh my goodness gracious. You got me there. I almost drooled on I don't even have like saliva glands. You got me drooling.
Yeah.
You just started talking
All,
about
all
Waffle
I
House.
all I want in my life is some Waffle House right now. So the next time you go to Waffle House, just get an all-star,
Hmm.
just smothered and covered, and just
Oh yeah.
get another one for me. So just have two. Have two meals. One for you, or get three. One for you,
Hmm.
that guy Jason, who's a good buddy of yours. Get one for him too,
Oh yeah.
and then get one for me, and then just eat it all up and know that you're filling my heart with happiness. That's all I ask
Okay.
for.
Yeah. I can do that. I can do that. And then if I have any like hash browns left over, I'll put them in an envelope and mail them to you, and that way you can use a little taste too.
I'll take them. I don't care. I'll eat them. I'll eat them on the next podcast. I promise.
They probably would be still good, like, if you stuck them in an oven. They're like how you see those things where people take, like, McDonald's fries, and they
Yeah.
keep them in a thing for, like, 7 years, and they're just fine. I bet the same thing with the hash browns. I bet
I'm
you can
no
do that with that.
I'm not worried. I know they'll show up. You know what I mean? They'll show up and
Yeah.
they'll look the same. They'll have that great smell, and I'll eat
Oh,
it.
yeah. Yeah, pop them in the microwave for about 10, 15 seconds, should be golden.
And
Golden.
we can't end the show better than that. I mean, when they talk about how to end the show, that's textbook how to end a show. Just having,
Oh, that's it.
you know, just
Yeah,
potatoes being mailed to you by the post
that's
office.
what I'm
So,
talking about right there. Yeah, tiny slivers of potatoes. We're both, trained professionals, as everybody that's
oh,
listening knows.
absolutely.
We're both trained professionals.
Absolutely. That goes without saying. Well, Sock Cop, I appreciate you taking the time out of your very, very busy schedule. We're looking forward to seeing you on Twitch. Today is Thursday, so hopefully tonight they'll get to see you. Unfortunately, this is a recorded show, so they won't know
Mhm,
about this until it gets dropped in a couple weeks. So
mhm.
we will be promoting this like crazy because we definitely, and I say we because I have a big fan base because I'm extremely popular. And
Oh,
I'm going
good,
to make
good,
sure
good. Yeah, that's
everyone
why I
knows.
came on. You said you
Right.
have so many fans, and I was like, "Okay, good, good, good."
I'm going to make sure everyone knows about you every Tuesday and Thursday. Sock Cop on Twitch. Any last words for everybody, all your adoring fans and supporters?
No, I just wanna say, don't be speeding, live your life at a reasonable speed and smell the roses every once in a while, you know what I mean? And thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure talking to you. I'm glad we was able to catch up. It's always good to catch up with an old friend, and hopefully if you come back, down to this part of the country, we'll go, grab us some Waffle House.
Absolutely. I'm going to hold you to that, and I'll make sure that I stay below 55. Okay.
Yes, yes, please do. Thank you so much. Yeah, if you change your ways, then this whole podcast was worth it. That would be fantastic.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot, Saka. Appreciate you and everybody. Thanks for listening and watching. I do appreciate each and every one of you. Check us out on the socials. Look, it's a podcast. You can find us everywhere. You can also follow Sock Cop on Twitter at Sock Cop, right? Is that what it is?
Well,
At Sock-
no, somebody took that one. It's actually at Jason Burglar,
that guy.
JASONBURGLAR. So
Okay.
it doesn't make any sense. But I mean, if you type in sock up, you'll probably find it.
It gets to you either way, and I'll make sure I show it off on my Twitter too. And Jason guy, he's a nice guy too. He's fine. But Sock Cop
Yeah, I
is
guess
the big
whatever.
star of the operation. But thank you guys for watching. Look, it's a podcast and all the socials, Instagram and Twitter. And have a great rest of your day. Be safe. Enjoy.